Now, if you know, you know that I've played a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Have played a lot of WoW in the past. I have played Dragonflight. Haven't really rated too hard in WoW, but I've seen a lot of WoW. Like, I've watched a lot of it. I've watched a lot of WoW rating. I do have friends and people close to me who have extensive time in WoW and in rating, so I do have a good understanding of what it is. I wanted to sit here and talk about the differences because, listen, I've rated a lot in Final Fantasy 14. Now, I'm not the greatest player, but I'm pretty good. I'm decent, okay? I'm decent, right? And I play tank, so I got that Unga Bunga brain, right? And I play warrior, so it's even more Unga Bunga. But I've played a good amount of 14, and I've done hardcore rating in 14. I've done midcore, and I've also done casual rating and stuff like that. I've been in groups that are like 8 hours a day. So I know how prog is. I've done savages. I've done the ultimates. Here, let me pull up. All right, I've done a good amount of rating. Okay, good amount of rating. So this is my character, and this is the most recent raid tier. After top, I didn't finish top, but I completed DSR. Top was, I had like 6 different groups for top and they all disbanded. So, and I needed to build a new computer. So I was like, fuck it. And I stopped prog on top. Not that it was too hard. It was just that people were not ready for it. In 14, I actually started the game in 2020, then started raiding. I did Shadowbringers, and then I did all of Endwalker raiding. So as you can see, first tier, this is when I really started raiding. So decent, you know, Abyssos, decent. And then the last tier, I was even debating. I was on the fence about even doing this raid tier because there was no ultimate after it. If you try to get into the nuances, when you get into the nuances of the raiding, it's a very different game, very specific things. It operates completely differently. But if you just look at it like the general aspects, like boss, like just the encounter itself, right? And how world first races are done, right? You can compare general aspects to each other, right? The thing is with the world racing, the production value of, say, WoW, the world race is extremely high. Way more, in comparison, it's extremely high to 14, right? Because 14 doesn't have an official, like, they don't officially back world first stream or anything like that, right? They just have a bunch of streamers doing it, and then they have the community basically doing it for them. Where WoW has like an official WoW stream for it, but you also get the third parties, the individual teams, right? The individual teams like Echo, Liquid, they would produce their own thing. So the production value, how you're watching it, and the entertainment for a WoW first race, I think is better. But I think the race itself, 14 is a lot better because of multiple things. The actual discoverability and watching the actual playing of the game during a 14 world race is more enjoyable than watching a WoW one. One, because in the totality of the encounter, 15 minutes, 60 minutes, 18 minutes, however long, which one you're doing, right? The days and weeks you go through watching it. When a streamer gets to a new point that no one else has seen, right? It's huge because you're all watching and you all get to see it for the first time. Now, in every single part, every single phase of the fight, right? In WoW, you already know most of the encounter through PTR, through testing. They already put like 80% of the raid on PTR on the public test servers, right? So as just a viewer or as a player who likes to watch this stuff, you know that the player has already experienced it, right? So you lose that connection with the player, streamer, broadcaster, whoever, right? You lose that connection with them. Even if it's new for you, you lose the connection with them for them experience it for the first time. They already know. So you don't, right? You still see the excitement of clearing the phase, but you know they've already seen it. And that's like 80% of the fight. Honestly, I think sometimes people say that because they don't understand what's going on, which, you know, WoW has that issue where it's so cluttered, people don't know what's going on. If it's a first time to see it, then you're enjoying more of a react stream. Right. You're enjoying more of, it's not even like a react stream. It's more of just to see them complete something they've already done. Because a react stream, a lot of the time you're watching because the broadcaster hasn't seen it, you haven't seen it, and you enjoy it together, or you have already seen it and you're waiting for the streamer's reaction to it, right? That's also big too. So for viewing it, right, as a viewer, it kind of lacks. It does lack because you don't get that same experience. And the thing is that they don't have to discover anything really new with the fight, with the encounter. And it's like you sit there and you have to wait and wait and wait for something new. And it's even worse for people who know the game, who've seen this stuff already from PTR. You have to sit there and you watch. At that point, you're watching for the production. You're watching for the production of like Liquid, Echo. You're watching for the production of what they're putting out, the commentary, right? What they're doing. And you're just kind of watching the raid in the background. Now, obviously, you're looking when they're getting close to finishing the phase, because that's always big. But again, there's nothing new. And like for me personally, that takes away the fun. Because when I was watching I was progging DSR and watching World First Race day one. Right, day one I was watching and I was prog. And it was so exciting seeing the stream teams going back and forth of who's seeing new stuff now. And it's that every single phase. It's something new that you can connect with the audience in chat, right? You can connect with everyone watching, and you can connect with the streamer, and you can see the reaction to it, right? Not only do you get the experience of seeing them react to actually completing the phase, because that's always hype, but you also get to see them experiencing something new and seeing them trying to figure it out and the wonder of it, right? Like, oh, what's going to come next? What's happening now? And having to like dissect and figure out with the streamer what is going on. And in WoW you can't do that. And it's boring. It is a little bit boring watching 80% of a world first for WoW. And it just takes away, because you already know that they have spreadsheets of what the mechanics do, what mechanics are coming, at what time they're coming, not to mention all the third-party programs they have. Not saying that people playing 14 don't cheat and don't use third-party programs. They do, okay? But the difference is that you don't have like a week in advance of prep and actually playing the game, actually doing the raid in advance, right? Now, day one, like the day before patch, data mines will happen for 14 as well. So you get a list of things, right? That does happen. But it's only one day, and you don't actually get to play it, right? You don't actually get to play the game. Where in WoW, you can go through all the motions, you can keep doing it, you can practice, you can go over old footage, and it just takes away the fun of it. And knowing what mechanics come next are huge. It's so important. The last two bosses are like, or the last boss is always hidden, right? So that's where everyone tunes in, especially me, in my opinion. That's what I tune in, is like the last two bosses, the ones that weren't on the PTR, the ones that are completely new, because that's when you get the full experience, right? You get the full experience of them trying to figure out what's going on, and you get to see them strategize and test stuff out live. That's what's really fun, okay? That's what's really fun. And that's what the world race should be, in my opinion. It should be all like that. It does kind of suck when you have PTRs come out with like 80% of the raid. It kind of sucks, right? Where 14, it's all basically play-wise, it's blind, right? Obviously, there's data mining the day before, whenever the patch is actually put out, and you can get a hold of the game, right? Obviously, there's that. But actually playing the game, it's completely new experience. Where in WoW, that's not the case for like 8% of it. It does, for me at least, take away a lot of the enjoyment. But man, when the last two bosses are up, that's hype, dude. That's hype. That's hype.